Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here for the alignment game changer, and we need Scully and her beautiful anatomy, isn't she great, to demonstrate this. So if you look, we have two ball socket systems in the body, and you'll see how important this is. Shoulder sockets, hip sockets. You'll notice that they're parallel to each other because we don't want to walk around like Quasimodo. The spine is intersecting the rib cage and the pelvis. The hip sockets are at the bottom of the pelvis, and the shoulder sockets are at the top of the rib cage. So these are parallel to each other, right? Notice how the facet joints in the spine, these little wings there from the base of the spine up to prevent the vertebrae from spinning out. Well, these have 1 degree or less in range of motion so that both rib cage and pelvis can move together. Now, understanding that your, hang on a second, Scully, don't fall down. Here we go. Excellent. Up against the locker, here we go. So, the shoulders and hip sockets are parallel to each other. When I bring both hands together to take my grip, my hands and arms will tend to swing parallel to that ball socket system. That's where my arc is going to tend to feed. Now, if I want it to go to the left of this line, then I notice now the momentum of my swing wants to feed naturally to the left. Now, the reason why many of you have these changes, even though you're lined up properly, you tend to pull the ball or push the ball, whatever, there are way other factors that are involved in this. And the major factor, first and foremost, is how your eyes are built inside your skull. Now, we, as humans on this planet, have binocular vision. This is how we see 1,000% correctly. So when I'm over here, I get as far away as possible, let's say 10 feet back, and let's say I want to go to my keep out sign, which is demonstrated here by this KO sign. That's where I want to go. I want to go right between the two letters. So I use an intermediate point in front of the ball. It's going to take me there. So basically, if I set up to go straight over that ball, it feels like I'm going to go to keep out when I'm looking back here. Now, here I am facing the ball, then I look over at the target, and right away I feel like I'm not lined up properly. Happens to you all the time, right? Even when you're putting, you line up the logo of the ball in the direction that you want to go, and you step back here, and you go, yep, that is exactly where I want to go. Just inside left edge. Got it. And then you come over here and you go, well, that doesn't look right. That looks like I'm going way more to the left. Well, right now, your side vision is talking to you. We call it the side vision, okay? This one is 1,000% wrong. Always incorrect. There's no way your brain can vector around that. You would need 40,000 years of evolving walking around like this. That's not going to happen, folks, because this is how you resist the pull of gravity. And every day I got my slouch that I'm working on with Chantal in our yoga series, and with my massage therapist, we're trying to get me to a position where I'm going to live a longer life from not, crouching. So I want an intermediate point, and notice Jack Nicklaus was not able to live without that intermediate point. That was one of his biggest secrets. And so let's say I'm going to the K of keep out. Got it. I set up, I line up my feet parallel to that line. Many of you come right away and be, influenced by your side vision as soon as you get beside the ball. So you say, okay, what would be a parallel line between this and this? That's too far right. That's too far left. That's pretty good. All right? Pretty good is all you need. So then you play, if I'm playing a little draw, I'm going to play the ball a bit back in my stance, close the face, and then get slightly behind the ball. So now notice my momentum. I'm going to be approaching the ball naturally from the inside, but watch as I take a swing over that. You see the blur of the club? The blur of the club, because I'm parallel to this line, the blur is moving in that direction. So You get behind the ball and you think, okay, that feels like it's going to start right edge of the ball. And you trace your eyes from that ball to the right edge of that one and out into the range or the golf course, and you'll think, oh my God, I'm 40 yards right. That's what it's going to feel like. That would be extremely misleading. So now you're saying, oh my gosh, I can't go there. And then you bail in your swing and you pull it dead left. Well, that's because if I'm swinging towards you from here, so I've got, this is where I want to go. I'm going to use an intermediate point in front of the ball. So pick on every tee box, you should basically be setting up behind a divot. So I know that if I want to go towards you, I'm going to go on the left half of that ball. There we go. So that feels like my momentum wants to swing over the left half of that ball. Fantastic. So now, I want to swing towards you, so my eyes are looking for you this way. See what just happened? I just pulled right across the ball and yanked it dead left, and or with, now that you say, oh, okay, maybe it's my club face, now I'm going too far left, and then you open the face and now you start slicing them back to the right. You end up with 9 irons that go nice and straight but don't go anywhere, like 100 yards. And then when you get to the longer clubs, you're seeing a big slice. Well, that's because as you get less loft, you get more compression, and then the side spin gets affected a lot more. With a lot more loft, just a glancing blow. So, you come back here. You line up from behind and pick an intermediate point. Then you get set up. Then you're going to release in the direction that it feels like it wants to go, and please don't fight it. So I'm going to allow the weight of my club to release me to the right edge of that intermediate point. Right edge, right edge, right edge. Well, look at that. That ball started just a little right of K, and it's going to go out there and it's going to draw back and fall back behind the K. That's what I was trying to do. And that's what I got. So you stick to the plan and see how the ball flies. And then all of a sudden, you will be left with a strategy, a system by which you say, hey, every time I let it release that way, it ends up on target. That's how it works, you guys. You got to stop thinking about, I got to place it on the target. Or I got to, even worse than that, I got to place the club on the ball. That's even worse. You're going to be over the top all day long. Okay, I'm going for the ball. I'm going for the target. I'm going in the direction of where I want to start the ball, which is right edge of the intermediate target. Right edge, right edge. Right edge. Yes, I released right edge. Notice that started just to the right of the keep out sign. That may come all the way back. It may stay a little bit to the right and come back a little bit. Doesn't matter, because I know that the result is going to be decent. I stayed on my task. So number one, this is true vision. This is no good. This is great. Now, if you pick an intermediate point that's only a foot in front of the ball, this is a little too far, but I can easily see that in my peripheral vision because it's a bright yellow ball. But normally I would put it here. It'd be like a discolored patch of grass, a divot, whatever. I would put something right out there in front of the ball. And now I'm going to be swinging through that spot and out into my picture. But as long as I'm staying through my intermediate point, then I'm going to get some terrific success with the accuracy in my shots and the consistency, of course, of my shot and the consistency of my alignment. So now you know that when you pick it from behind and you get over here and it doesn't feel right, don't listen to this side, okay? Listen to what you saw over there. That's where I want to go. So let's say I'm hitting a little fade. I want to go a little left edge of that, play the ball a hair forward to center, close the face a bit less. Now I'm just going to graze the left edge of that. Left edge, left edge. Left edge. So now notice the ball starts left edge of that, which was, there you go. Right over here, left of my wet paint sign, and that would fade back, land over there, maybe cozy up to the pin. So the the trust that you put in your intermediate point, and then use the intermediate point to deliver your swing in the direction you want to start the ball, that's going to be huge for you. Okay? Enjoy that. See you in the next one.